Hey guys, this is Gary Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great subject for ourselves today, and it's like this: selling the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the warts and all. Okay, what's that got to do with selling? The good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all? Well, let me tell you something. I've been in sales since the 80s in one form or capacity, and I'm going to tell you what, we got the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to talk about the warts and all in these videos. Now, here's what I'm talking about when I say the good. The good part about selling is you got a job. All right, now we're going to get out there, we're going to sell something. We've been told we can make a whole lot of money, honey, and we're going to make some good money. And I'm going to tell you what, you can do anything, like my mom always says, when you put your mind to it. Now, that's real good. And see, here's the thing. When you're selling, you got to remember it's a job, it's a career, and it's an opportunity for you to be the best that you can be. That's real good. And so what we have to do is when we first get into sales, we got to figure out what product we want to sell. Sometimes you got to try a couple of different products, which is the good thing because they got a whole lot of different products that are out there for you to buy, for you to sell. And also it's real cool because see, if we only had one job that we could do, that would be pretty bad. But see, in the reality in sales, it's got a great opportunity. You know, a lot of people when they first get into sales, they do what they call retail. Retail is a good platform for you to get started in sales, and I'm telling you what, you can make some money, honey. But here's the drawback: it doesn't give you as much money as you think you might make unless you're out on a straight commission job working out business to business or door to door or over the phone. Depends on what you're selling and the market that you're trying to sell to. Now, here's the good thing about it: selling is awesome. It's a great thing. It's a great career. Now, let's go with the bad, okay? The bad part is it's a job. The bad part is it's work. The bad part is, and I ain't saying these are real bad, but I'm just telling you, they can be bad for some folks. The bad part is they're a learning curve, okay? And then sometimes the bad part of it is that, hey, listen, I have to fail. Sometimes you got to fail to be successful. That means you've had to go up and down having issues like tissues, and you're dealing with reality because, see, selling is a great opportunity. Now, I love sales. I love everything about it because, you know, my name is Gary Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all the stuff that's got to deal with selling, the warts and all. You know, the bad part about selling, too, is that sometimes it takes a while to get to a point where you can be really sufficient at it. And it kind of sucks because sometimes people, they don't wait for the miracle. They expect expectations. And I've been there. I've done that. I've had some high expectations on some careers and jobs, and they just didn't work out because, see, I wasn't making no money, honey. And then sometimes when you got a job and you ain't making no money, you got to think about, well, what am I going to do? So sometimes we quit before the miracle. Been there, done that, and I'm going to tell you what, it sucks. I've had to leave some really good opportunities because I needed to survive. I'm a single parent. I've been raising my son since he was a little baby. No other income coming in. So that was just what I had to deal with. Not to say it's a bad thing. It's just a part of life. Now, in this regard also, selling is, like I said, it's got some ugly parts to it. Now, some ugly parts to it is sometimes you fail, like I just said earlier. It really sucks because sometimes, you know, you'll be out there knocking on doors, working real hard, sweating to the oldies like I am right now. I got the air conditioner down. I'm in Florida, and I may not look as pretty. I'm looking pretty ugly, but I know I'm just kidding. You got to go with your flow. And see, here's the ugly part about selling too, is a lot of people stop before they really meet the opportunity that's going to work for best for them. The ugly part about that is sometimes people will go out, if they failed in a particular sales job, and they will go out and quit the business of selling. That's ugly, man. I mean, it's real ugly. And see, they'll go out and take a mediocre job, they'll get their little bit of money, and then they'll look back in years and say, dang, I wished I could have stuck and stayed. And I've been there, I've done that. And they'll look and say, dang, I wish I would have stuck and staying and selling, and then they regret it. So that's really ugly. That's real ugly. And then you got the ugly parts about selling where, you got manipulators that are out there, people that will try to teach you the wrong way on how to have conversations with people. They're teaching you the ugly stuff called manipulation. Oh, they're looking for the fast bump. The fast bump. That ain't right. Bang, bang. The ugly part about selling is sometimes, dude, it's like, you deal with personalities. You got people telling you, get off my property. Hey, can't you see the no trespassing sign? Didn't you see that? We don't want you in there knocking on our doors, because we done had a lot of solicitors is what that is. And then the ugly part about that is we take it internally. We hurt inside. We call ourselves things we shouldn't call. We can't do it. I can't do it. The ugly part about that, too, is you got a lot of people that are like crabs. Oh, you shouldn't stick in that stay in sales. That sucks. You can't make no money. Don't listen to those people, because they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They done put themselves in a box of mediocrity. That means they've decided to get paid whatever they got. Not us. Now, the ugly part again about that is that you got to walk through the crap. You got to walk through the stuff that really makes you go, dang, am I got the right career? Am I doing the right thing? Am I really a salesperson? Should I be a salesperson? Don't second guess yourself, guys. If you have an inclination and if you feel in your heart that, hey, I can sell something, you probably do. But see, here's the thing. The ugly part is a lot of people put down salespeople because, see, they've never had to walk in our shoes. They're afraid to ask for people to buy from them. They don't know how. So they confuse themselves with a regular job and think that that's what they should be doing. And the ugly part is they, like a crab, will sometimes pull people who could be great salespeople and destroy their future. The warts and all. I'm going to tell you what, the warts and all have got to deal with the problem, the process. Some days are real good, and then some days they kind of suck. And I'm going to tell you the warts and all about the selling process. Now, the selling process is a learning curve. I've stated this many times. You've got ebb and flows, good days, bad days, and some weeks are just going to be like, man, I don't know if I can do this job. That's the ugly part. And the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the warts and all. The warts and all means you got to learn your craft. That means you got to learn the hard stuff. You got to learn how to have a conversation. You got to learn how to be able to talk to people, not try to sell down to people, but ask good questions. I said good questions, not bad questions. And don't ask some ugly questions that ain't got nothing to do with selling. The warts and all. You got to deal with all different types of customers. Some people, they want the information like right real quick. And then you got your little looky-loos that are like, they talking about wanting to buy something, and they really don't. They may not have the means, they might not have the want, and maybe they don't even really need it, but they're glad to have somebody waste their time talking to them. Now, I ain't saying customers are bad, because you got to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the warts and all. That's selling, baby. And I'm going to tell you what, I've been in sales for a long time, because my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I thought I'd share this stuff with you. See, a lot of times when you go to work for a company, they're going to tell you all the good stuff. How you going to do real good? You going to make some money, honey? See, I have to do that. They got to do that. Because who's going to come work for somebody to sell something if they're going to say, well, you might make some money? I don't think so. So what they have to do is build you up. Now, if they're a good company, and they're, like I said, good company, what they're going to do is they're going to help you with some mentors. They're going to let you know that, hey, listen, if you start struggling, you need to come and talk to us. We can have a conversation, because it's real bad when we do not ask for help. I've been there. I've been kind of like prideful. I thought I was the prima donna. I thought I was old, that in a bag of crap. Okay. The ugly part about that is when you feel that way, you may not get the help that you need. If you think you're so important in everything in life, like a glass of full water, dip your hand in there, pull it out, and that's about how much you'll be missed. That's the warts and all. Now, here's the reality. I've been in sales, like I said, since the 80s in one form or capacity. I've dealt with a lot of different type personalities. The good ones, okay, they're the ones that buy from us. The bad ones, they didn't buy anything from us. And the ugly ones were, they wasted my time. That ain't true. Every opportunity to get in front of a customer is good, not bad, not ugly. It gives you the chance to practice your craft. Because see, remember what I told you? The good thing, it's a numbers game. And what that means is the more people that you have a conversation with about your product, give them the information, and ask for the order. Because if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. No warts and all. You got to deal with those things that are going to be good days, bad days, ugly days. And some days you might go, dang, I just wish I would have stayed up in that bed. Been there, done that. The good part I like about selling, it's an ongoing process. It's a career. There is a future in it, but you have to get around with what they call positive people. Positive in, positive out. If you hang around with knuckleheads, you're hanging around with bad people. They ain't the ones that's going to benefit you. And the ugly part about that is if you hang around with people that are by the water cooler putting down other salespeople, well, I don't know why they're making all that money. I'm doing the same thing. No, they ain't. That's the warts and all. They ain't doing what they have to do. Now, sometimes you'll be struggling. You'll have those good days and you'll have those bad days. And like I said, sometimes you'll get so frustrated and you'll start doing things that you normally wouldn't do to try to get back to where you were. That's ugly. The good part about selling is that it's a process. The bad thing is that sometimes we get off our process and we start going in different directions. We get this thing called salesman's breath. That's real ugly. The salesman's breath means that you're getting desperate because you ain't sold nothing in a while. Been there, done that. And I'll tell you what, when you get to that point, what happens is you start thinking, maybe I need to change the way my approach. But if we look at the good part of it and go back to the fundamentals, the basics, and make it simple, that ain't bad. That's real good. The ugly part is a lot of times we fail and then we give up. That's real ugly. That's the warts and all. See, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you we'd have a good conversation today about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the warts and all about selling. Because, see, sales is a great process. It's a great opportunity. But, like, it's kind of bad. It ain't easy because not everybody can say, did you want to go ahead and get that? Because, see, a lot of people, they're afraid. They can't do sales. That's why we're so important, and that's why companies like to work with us. Now, an ugly thing is a lot of times, like I said, we get this fear factor, false evidence appearing real, why we can't do something. We can do anything we put our minds to if we'll just go ahead and accept that. Now, you got to remember, it's a numbers game, it's a process, and you have to go with the flow. The good part about that is, yeah, you're going to do real fine. You're going to be real good. But see, the bad part is you got to go through. You got to go through the stuff that sucks. And the ugly part is sometimes your company is going to say, what have you done for me lately? And the warts and all means you got to do the work. That means you got to knock on them doors. That means you got to pick up that heavy phone and call folks. That warts and all means you got to go business to business. You got to get out of your comfort zone. The warts and all. Selling is a great opportunity. You know, I love it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. That's why I share that little mantra with you because, see, it's a process. And, you know, I love sales so much. So do me a favor. Look at your selling career. Remember, you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have some ugly days, man. And then you're going to have to deal with the warts and all. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a very simple conversation about selling, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and dealing with the warts and all. It's a process, baby. We got to do what we got to do. So remember, you're going to have ebb and flow, good days, bad days, and ugly days, and you're going to have some bad things that are just like crap. But the majority of the days are real good. Just keep a positive attitude. Remember, positive in, positive out. I'm going to let you introduce you to my son. Hey, Dom.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dominic Stanley here, and today I'm...
Go ahead.
If you guys like this video, press the big thumbs up and also subscribe if you guys would like to see more. Comment down below what you guys want to see and also like this video again. And thank you guys for watching.
That is my most awesome son. I'll tell you what, I'm very fortunate to have a great son. Ain't nothing bad about it. It's all good. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a really good, cool video about selling the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the warts and all. So go out there and sell something. But remember, if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. Okay? Selling. The good, yeah. The bad, the ugly, dang. The warts and all. So go out there and sell something and have a nice day. All right.